Well, good morning, coming to you on a nice, looks to be a beautiful day here in West Tennessee. Cool, but about to get a whole lot colder. So we're gonna be making some preparations for that today. We're gonna start off just getting everybody fed. Everybody wants to be fed. The bulls are coming up to eat. These weaned calves and few cows. Horses are even waiting out back for a little breakfast. So we're gonna start off doing that. And we gotta feed the feeder steers. And the barn cats over there. Hey, there's Cal. So everybody wants to be fed. Man, I keep coming. Even the donkeys are coming up to eat. So yeah, it's just breakfast time apparently. I hear you. All right, y'all come on in. Let them get to their stalls. Sadie, show y'all. Sadie is 1,000,000,000% convinced there's something behind this door. And to her credit, we normally have birds, barn swallows, that nest in between the door and the building. And she might be right. There might be something back there that I don't know about, because she is 1,000,000,000% convinced of it and has been. Now she's spooking the horses. But Ace, you're just not gonna get fed if you don't go on in there. There's nothing behind this door. Like normally you can barely open the door because they've got so much hay and whatnot packed in there for their nest. But it's just not there, baby. I know you're so convinced there is, but there just isn't. I'm sorry. Our 3 newest babies. So they're there, and now you can see the other one. They're in good shape, but been feeding this bunch. Of course, they've got hay. We're gonna put out some hay later on, but of course, keeping hay out, like pretty much for all the cattle this time of year. Give them a little feed. I've been doing it first thing in the morning like this, but at least once a day, we're giving them a little feed. All right, and got those boys fed, but they are pretty much on their full ration of the corn now. Corn with the protein supplement. Not getting them any of the starter feed, or our regular feed like we feed these others. All right, big guys. Y'all enjoy your breakfast. They don't all enjoy a head scratch or a head rub. The mobile bin is basically empty. So we took a few sacks, carry feed to the other cow herd. So as we head up the road to check on the other cow herd, I was gonna discuss our impending weather situation just a bit, which by the time we get this edited and posted, probably most of the country will have gone through or be experiencing this blast of cold air. But yeah, today, kind of upper 20s this morning, getting into the upper 40s this afternoon. Tomorrow starting off much the same way. Tomorrow evening, a front's coming in. I'm gonna get some form of precipitation. We're going from mid 40s down to 1 degree tomorrow night with -20 wind chills. So that's a bit unprecedented for our area, certainly this early in the winter. Hoping that precipitation falls down as snow and these animals don't get wet right before that temperature just bottoms out. But gonna kind of spend some of the day today getting ready for that. Would like to get those 3 new calves probably into the barn tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow midday, whenever opportunity presents itself, so that they can just be out of that wind, and if it is any rain. Snow, if they've just got snow on their back, that's fine. I don't mind that at all. But I don't want it to start raining when it's about 35 degrees, then get wet, and then that temperature drop down into single digits. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, as the sun's coming up over there, today is going to be really nice. I hope these cows are still here somewhere. I've been feeding them actually, because we moved them in here on Saturday. I can't remember when I came back here on Sunday. I think I came back here Sunday morning, but then the last 2 days I've been back here like on my lunch break. So their routine is not to be right here at the bunks first thing in the morning, but nice to feed here too. If y'all been watching the last videos where we were feeding just a couple of ridges over, it was like ankle deep mud, sloppy, nasty mess. But of course it hasn't rained now in almost a week anyway. So, and too, there just hadn't been all that foot traffic in here when it was so muddy. But okay, I hear somebody. They're gonna be just off down in this next holler. But we'll get a little feed put out for them, check on them, and then get on back to the house and start getting some other things done. They're all down the hill down there. They'll slowly make their way up. Well, good morning, ladies. Y'all want some breakfast? As the last few stragglers come on up, I think what my plan is gonna be with this crew, because again, when they're in this pasture, it's not real easy to get back in here. Now, the ground should be good and frozen hard by the time where the weather's really bad. But I think probably tomorrow I'm gonna move them on up back up to the other end, where they're right by the road. Not nearly as good a stockpile in there, but I can get to them easy. I'll bring them some hay for a day or two. I think by this time next week it's gonna be mild again. Starting tomorrow night, we won't get above freezing until the day after Christmas, the 26th. But by the middle of next week, yeah, we're like up into the 50s again. So then we can always bring right back here again to kind of finish cleaning up the stockpile for another couple of weeks. But that's the plan anyway, at least for now. Got the tractor cranked up, letting it warm up, getting ready for this cold weather, these winter storms, that kind of thing. You know, of course, these cattle, as they hear me over here, they love to eat that grain, that mixed feed. But really what keeps them warm is this hay. That rumen's like a big furnace in there, and that roughage, then breaking that down really keeps them warm. So gonna get some hay put out. May not put out hay for them just yet, but I need to move some hay rings around. We left a couple back there. There's also the ground's dried up a good bit in the last week. I think we're gonna go ahead and head up to my dad's house, where we still got, really don't know how much hay, maybe 20 rolls or so, stacked in the field while we've caught it, the weather good. Get that moved home. Had thought I would wait and do that this weekend even, which Sunday being Christmas Day, we weren't gonna do it then, but maybe on Christmas Eve that morning, when the ground should be frozen pretty solid, but it's actually dried up enough that we should be able to do it now without having to wait for it to freeze. But anyway, I don't know how long that'll take, because I really don't know how many rolls it is. We can move 7 at a time. I think it's, I don't know, it'll be at least 3 loads, maybe 4. But we can get these hay feeders kind of moved around where we're set up a little better to do some feeding. So the bulls there, got them a fresh roll put out. They hadn't quite cleaned up that last roll we fed them, but again, in preparation for things getting pretty nasty, they were gonna be out probably by this time tomorrow anyway, so got that done. Well, I was able to go ahead and get a ride, so stopped what we were doing there, went ahead and moved the tractor over here to my dad's place, my mom and dad's place, I should say. 22 rolls. I knew it was somewhere right around 20, so we'll be able to make that in 3 trips, plus take 1 in with the tractor, so it shouldn't take too long. And then we'll have all the hay moved home for the winter, assuming we don't run out and have to go find some more. All right, first load loaded up. Gonna make the 2.5 mile trip to the house and do it 2 more times, I guess. Well, let's see if we can get them all off of there. Those of you that have watched our videos, you know that, because we're using a 5-bale trailer, but since we got these smaller rolls, we can squeeze 7 on there, and we do. And they're a little bit of a challenge to get off though. And that's one thing when they're freshly baled and they're still nice and standing up and perfectly round. Now they kind of started to squat. I tried to put one of the better, you know, still more round one's right there over the wheel, but yeah, we'll see. I imagine that this might be a little bit of a workout. We'll find out. was more of a workout than this old, out of shape guy was planning on doing today. So we're gonna get smart. We gotta make one more trip of 7, and then we can do 6, and then we can bring 2 in with the tractor. So we're gonna put 6 on this next load. That way we won't have one right there over the tires, the wheels. Get them off a little easier. We'll go back and load it with 7. Then we're gonna bring the tractor home. We can unload the 7, you know, with the tractor. So that'll be the only time we have to actually push them off like that. So work smarter, not harder, right? So yeah, 6 on there, hoping those are easier to get off than if there were 7. We got 9 left stacked over here. You have to take my word, because I'm not gonna walk around the tractor. Means come back, put 7 on the trailer, take the tractor in with 2. And that's why it's important to stay in school and learn your math, kids. All right, so made it home with the hay. All right, come on, y'all. The entourage getting out. Hey, you know, that's how we roll. We gotta roll with the posse. But all these animals over here, they're whining, they're complaining, they don't have anything to eat, which I beg to differ. You can probably still appreciate there's hay that we have unrolled the other day. They're just not wanting to clean it up. So I don't know. The bale unroller works great. I love it in terms of its functionality. I'm just not sure how well it's going to work in terms of these animals actually eating it all. It's been dry, they haven't stomped it all in the mud. It's, you know, everything else has gone pretty well. So I think what I'm gonna do right now is go ahead and unroll another one and not put any hay in the hay feeders just yet. One, I don't have the tractor right now anyway. You know, essentially they'll be forced to eat on that hay if they want to eat any hay at all for the next few hours. And then we'll fill up the hay rings this afternoon when I get the tractor home. We'll see. It's kind of a work in progress and experiment to see how exactly we're going to utilize the unroller, you know, as we go through the winter. And they definitely want some hay. They won't even let me get it unwrapped good, and they even started unrolling. They're trying to eat it, but you see the one we unrolled 4 days ago, I mean, this is entirely too much waste. I don't know how much waste I would be comfortable with, but I'm going to tell you this is too much. So I don't know. We're going to see. I'm going to see if this works better where the only hay they have is what I have just unrolled. Our idea all along was we'll keep some in the feeders, some unrolled. We'll try to unroll the more desirable, but it's what I did on Saturday, and it apparently did not work out like I thought. The other tricky thing there is, any of y'all that feed hay, you know it goes like this. You'll have, say you're putting out 5 rolls of hay. You'll have 4 that look great. You think those will be the first rolls they'll eat. 1 that'll look just nasty, undesirable, and that'll be the one they'll eat up first, at least half the time. I mean, so sometimes what we see and think is going to be a super desirable roll of hay, they may not see it that same way. So maybe that was my issue on Saturday. Maybe that wasn't as good a roll of hay as that's what I put in the rings. I don't know, but yeah, still very much kind of an experiment or a work in progress. So they should be content really about the next day or so, the rate they've been going through hay. But yeah, just in the interest of time, and the fact that I gotta go back to work tomorrow, and it's gonna get nasty tomorrow night, we will go ahead and put some of these feeders later on. But I made it home with the tractor, brought these 2 rolls. Now I think what we're gonna do, just get that off that trailer using the tractor, get kind of this neatly stacked. I need to go out and put out some rolls for them, but again, I'm gonna make them wait, let them keep working on what we've unrolled for as long as possible. Yeah, and then just gotta get a few other things done. This, as I sit here, I want to say, the daylight's just running short. Well, this is the shortest day of the year, so naturally it would be, but we'll get all this kind of stacked up and then get some more stuff done. Got that stacked. I wouldn't necessarily say super neatly. That's fine. We're gonna go through that hay pretty quickly over the next couple of weeks. Got the tractor ready. We're gonna put some out for them. I don't know. I'm disappointed. I sound like a broken record. I'm disappointed at how well they aren't cleaning that up, what we're unrolling. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if that ultimately ends up working out for us. First time using the bale bed this season. First time using it since we replaced all those hydraulic lines back during the summer. But of course we tested it out back then. But nice to see everything's in good shape there. You know, I wasn't really considering taking them and feeding them any hay right now because they still got stockpile, but this weather coming in tomorrow night, we got the hay, why not? If they don't want to eat the hay and they want to stay on stockpile, fine. If they want to eat hay for a couple of days till that worse that weather gets out, that's fine too. But yeah, everything looks good there. Let's get the wrap off. Yeah, we're gonna put one right here and just put a ring around it. Then we're gonna unroll this one. See if they'll, maybe they'll eat it better than some of them calves at home have been. We'll unroll this one the rest of the way, and cows aren't in this pasture right now. We're gonna let them in here in the morning, and yeah, that way they'll have this hay, because we're about 24 hours away from that cold front and a little bit of snow being here. But now they're calling for only about a ½ inch, so we'll see. You never know. Sometimes those are the ones that turn into 3 or 4 inches. But yeah, we'll find out here in a day or two. So we brought the feed bin home. We were coming back from another farm, and I was gonna go ahead and put out some hay. I don't think I am. The bad weather's gonna be here about this time tomorrow, right about dark tomorrow night. So I've got that roll we unrolled this morning. Rather than us put out some hay that, at least in my experience, brief experience, they're gonna go eat the hay in the feeders first and not clean that up. So, using my brain here, tomorrow on my lunch break, I'm gonna feed them. I'll put out the rolls of hay in the feeders for them. No reason being a huge rush to do this today, and 2, that'll make them go ahead and clean that up. So I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it, maybe I'm worrying about this way too much, I don't know. But with that said, I'm pretty much done with those cows for today. We do need to go down and feed the feeder steers, but the horses will come up, we'll put them up, but not too worried about that tonight. Tonight it's supposed to get down like, I don't know, upper 20s, something like that. Cold, but not terrible by any means. Tomorrow night we'll make sure the horses are tucked away. But yeah, may just about wrap it up for this one. Today is the first day of winter. I guess tomorrow will be the first full day of winter, and Buddy, she's coming in with a bang. We'll obviously have another video. You have to check it out, see how we make it through and kind of weather that storm, literally and figuratively. But we appreciate y'all watching. This may be our last one we get up before Christmas. So if so, we want to wish you all a Merry Christmas. Remember, as they say, Jesus is the reason for the season. Seems like, and people say this all the time, we kind of tend to forget that sometimes, at least kind of in the mainstream kind of world, but that absolutely is the reason for the season. I've got my ribeye roast already on order from the store. We're gonna be cooking it on Christmas Day. And you know what I'm gonna tell y'all? Y'all need to do the same. You eat beef and God bless. Merry Christmas.